Welcome back to Down in the Frame, guys. If you're new here or just haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. It's free, and if you don't have a YouTube account, if you have a Gmail account, you can log in with that, subscribe. It just lets me know that you guys are there watching, enjoying the content. So last week we had worked on, or last video I should say, we had worked on fiberglassing in the last part of the transom. I have a couple more pieces I need to do with that, and then we're gonna move to the stringers because we need to get those stringers in and then eventually do the stringers that are gonna hold the deck. And then we're gonna put the gas tank in and all that. Stringers are next after the transom. And then once we do the stringers, it's putting the boat back together. We gotta get the gas tank in there, like I said, get the deck on there and get the engine in. It's a race against time, not too much left of the summer, and I at least want to try to get it in the water. It might not be fully buttoned up, but I'd like to see her floating. So without further ado, let's get down the frame. Oh, and if you haven't seen it, I'm going to be putting on my IsoTube Pro Aware headset, jam out to some music while staying 100% aware of my surroundings. Not a sponsor, but I'm gonna link the review video of these bad Larrys down in the description. Shout out to Zoa, The Rock, dude, coming out with this energy drink. It was one of those energy drinks that came out of nowhere, and you know, I had one and I was like, nah, it's good. And then I just found myself buying more of it. So cheers, Rock, thank you. All right, so let's hop in the boat here. Last time we left off, we did the transom, which it's looking pretty good. There are some air pockets in here, but I'm not too worried about it because the majority of the fiberglass is solid. I'm really happy with the way that these side pieces came out. The center part of the transom, it's pretty good, but there's this area as well as this edge area that has an air pocket. Now, Jake actually had a pretty clever idea. Once we're done fiberglassing this, maybe drill this out and inject it with some sort of resin. Ow, that's sharp. Pretty much what's left on the transom is one more layer on the center section, or maybe 2 layers on the center section, one more layer on this side section, and she's going to be all fiberglassed in. At the end of the video, we had tried out this method of a thickened polyester resin with fiberglass chopped strand in it, and this thing's solid. We really like this, so I think I might take the grinder to it just to take some of the edges off, and then what we're going to do is got to dry up the boat. It's a little wet down there, but we're going to fiberglass this in as well. It's going to make getting in and out of the boat a little difficult, so we're going to have to plan out exactly what we're doing so that we don't end up fiberglassing ourselves into the boat and not being able to move. So, but we also have to do the thickened polyester resin on this stringer as well. And then once we get that done, we'll move to the next layer, which this stringer is going to be the tallest stringer, and it's going to support the deck. So we got to make sure we get that right and level and all that. And I have a technique that should work for that. I'll show you guys when we get to that. Okay guys, well that's gonna sum it up for today. What we ended up doing is we got the 2 extra pieces of fiberglass I need to get onto the transom. I was gonna do a 3rd piece on the center piece of the transom, but I decided against it. Everything's not really laying right. I might do it next weekend, I'm not sure, but it's good. It's solid, there's enough material there. I think we're gonna be okay with just 2. And then I immediately moved on to the stringers, in which I was able to fillet. The right stringer and the left stringer was already filleted. I just had to fillet one spot, and I fiberglassed over portions of that. I think the lesson today is that filleting is super important. And it's important to get it smooth, because if you don't, you're gonna fight the whole time to get all the air out of there. Like if I had extra time, I would have gone back through both stringers with some thickened resin, some thickened polyester resin to just smooth it out. Only use the silica and don't use the chop strand in it, because the chop strand adds a lot of texture to it. So I would just do the silica and I would go over it smooth, come back with a sander, and do just like what we did on the transom, but for the stringers. However, I'm gonna send it because the stringers are not as important as far as really holding tight as the transom is. The stringers that we took out weren't even really adhered in there anyway. These ones have fiber reinforced polyester resin underneath them, around them, everything, and then even more fiberglass on top. So they're in there. I would say it's over-engineered, honestly. If you have any suggestions about how to make everything go a little bit smoother, we're using a ton of resin right now, so if you guys have any techniques that reduce the amount of resin, let me know. But I think I went through another gallon today, so it's looking like every day we'll probably end up going through a gallon, which, you know, resin's not cheap. It's about, for 2 gallons, like 120 to 150 bucks shipped. That 1708 really sucks up the resin. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. I'm down the frame.